This is my review of the 2022 Kona Cindercone. Pack's ready. Here we go. You guys are awesome. Dirty Force! Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, my son had a new bike day. And this is what we got. It's the Kona Cindercone 2022 model. This is a really nice bike. And I'm just going to give you an overview and a rundown of kind of like the componentry. We changed his pedals to the pedals that he has been using and to the ones that he's used to, the Evo pin flats. This is a small frame Cindercone, 5'1" to 5'7", and my son is just over 5 feet. The seat is down as far as it will go. This bike actually has pretty decent componentry on it. So, like I say, it's got the small frame. It's got all the modern geometry, the sweep underneath the bottom bracket here. It has internal cable routing. So the derailleur and the brakes is all internal. It also has internal routing for a dropper post. There's two internal ports right here, and there's two internal ports on the other side. It does have a 28 tooth front chainring, and it has an 11 speed cassette on the back, so that's 11 to 51, so that's actually pretty good. He's climbed a couple big hills with it and in the trails and stuff, and so you can just imagine. He's used to a 34 8-speed setup. So this gear range, he's still getting used to. It does take a lot to get used to it. I'm sure he'll be used to it in no time. So this is all Dior, Shimano Dior components. So the shifter is Dior, and the rear mech here is Dior. It also has a clutch derailleur, which is fantastic. The cranks are 170 millimeters. I know once you get up to the medium large and above, it goes to 175. So he's used to 155 crank length. So now he's gone from 155 to 170. So it's making a major difference with climbing and just overall getting used to a new bike is hard enough, let alone coming from the bike that he came from, which was the Specialized Rip Rock, as you know if you follow the channel. So the bike does come with a hydraulic disc, 160 in the back, 180 in the front, and these brakes are supposed to be, on the website it says Tektro HD 250s, I believe, and this bike came with Shimano MT 201s, so better brakes. And the reason for that is I was confused because I asked the person at the store, at the bike shop where we got it, why there's Shimano brakes on this when the website specs Tektro, and she said because of the part shortage and all this stuff, they had to spec Shimano on the bike. Coming into the wheel size, so we're spec'd at 27.5 on this bike with Maxxis Forecaster 2.35 is the width of the tire. The bike does have a tapered head tube. We're going on a pretty short stem here, And then we've got pretty wide bars. So coming into the RockShox fork that comes spec standard on this bike is a RockShox Judy air fork with lockout and rebound adjust, which is pretty sweet. Cool little Kona head cap here. I put his race face grips on the bike, and yeah, the honestly the saddle he says is comfortable, so that's great. Works for him, so that's what the bike is for him. The wheels are double wall, tubeless ready, which is great. Now we have tubes in it right now, but the wheel set is tubeless ready. So maybe next year, maybe, I'm not sure yet if I'm ready to let go of tubes. I'm just not sure yet. They are WTB wheel set, and the front hub is a Formula, and the rear hub is a Shimano, both quick release, which, you know, it is what it is. What do you want for this price range, right? This bike has a lot going for it for the price that it is. Really, the only thing that this bike is missing is a dropper post, which he can't run anyway right now because he's too short. Next year might be a different story. Again, it's internally routed for a dropper post, so that's probably in the future next year. So really good, solid bike. And Dior stuff shifts. I mean, it might be heavier, but we're not concerned about that. It's just very crisp, and it's very reliable shifting. It's very reliable parts. This bike is not noisy at all either. I don't think there is any guides for the cables for the internal routing. So in saying that, this bike is pretty darn quiet. One more thing I wanted to mention too is these rotors are center lock, and there's not much else to say about it other than he absolutely loves it. So I'm just gonna grab the camera and do a couple close-ups. So there's the chain ring, there's the big pie plate, the Dior derailleur with clutch. There's the routing ports there. There's the RockShox Judy air fork. I like it because it has the fast black stanchions. There's the 180 rotor up front with the center lock and the quick release axle. We got the Shimano. We got the Shimano brakes there. Shimano levers, the race face grips. There's the stem cap I was talking about. It's pretty cool. 4-bolt, 38.1 diameter. There's the other two internal ports. Other port, and this one for the dropper post. It does have a threaded bottom bracket, which I like, with square taper. That's a 160 rotor on the back with center lock and quick release. And there's the hub, Shimano. And then the Forecaster, 65 PSI is way too much for us. Obviously, we're not gonna run our tires to 65 PSI. That'd be crazy. All right, so that's the 2022 Kona Cindercone in a nutshell. Hope you found the video informative. And even though it was really quick, it's a pretty sweet bike. He's a pretty fortunate, blessed kid, and he knows it, and he sold his rep rock and saved a bunch of money from his chores to make this happen. And I think that's the most important part of, he's only 10. Have a bike like this at 10 years old, it's pretty special. So he knows that. He paid for it, pretty much all of it, almost all of it by himself. And he takes good care of his bikes, and him and I washed them, we tweaked them and fixed them up together, and so he's learning about that stuff too. So it's all really good. Mountain biking can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. You get your mountain bike from a big box store, it doesn't matter. I'm very passionate about, it doesn't matter where you get your bikes from when you start. There is definitely a difference between a bike shop bike and a Canadian Tire bike or a big box store bike. There is no doubt there's a difference, 100%. But to get them started, to get you started, don't discredit the cheaper ones. We've seen them on the trails, we've used them on the trails, and to be honest with you, these are budget beginner bikes. So, it's all about what you do. It's all about, where you ride, how often you ride, how hard you ride, that kind of thing. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Love what you ride. Take care.